Honourable Leader of the Third Party.
Hear, hear.
Madam Speaker, the Premier and our Education Minister have stood in this House and lauded the new ATA deal as something almost revolutionary in that it buys 2 years of labour peace at a zero wage increase. The revolution is that they've given away management rights to the union by limiting how teachers allocate their time and created a $75 million fund to be administered by the union. To the Premier, this is a very simple question. Who's in charge of education in Alberta today? You and your government or your union pals?
The Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question, because it is a tremendous opportunity for me to talk about the $75 million investment that our government ran on in the last election, about investing into our classrooms to improve the quality of classroom experience for kids, because at the end of the day, that's where our money should be going. It should be going into the classrooms to ensure a better learning experience. We ran on that in the election, and I'm very pleased that that $75 million will be going into our classrooms to provide even better educational supports to our kids, because we all care about getting exactly the best outcome for our kids.
For supplemental.
Thank you. The Premier herself should be directing that money to the classroom.
Yeah.
Madam Speaker, this agreement will handcuff all boards, but mostly rural boards. The cap on instructional hours will take away flexibility from rural boards. Teachers who will not want to run afoul will be forced to refuse duties like supervision, administrative duties assigned outside of instructional time, not to mention possibly shortening the school year with impacts to high school programs like RAP. Again, to the Premier, in your haste to shore up your union base, why did you bargain away these basic rights that will drive up the cost of education and throw rural Alberta under the bus?
Good question.
Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think it's important for the member opposite to understand that the cap in instructional hours was agreed to after a thorough consideration was given to how many boards have teachers that actually ever come close to that cap or exceed it. And in fact, the number is infinitesimal, Madam Speaker. So in fact, it should have no impact on the quality of education and the time dedicated to education by our hardworking teachers, Madam Speaker. What will, however, have an impact is $75 million going in to support our classrooms.
Second supplemental.
Madam Speaker, rural boards have already complained they'll have to lay off teachers because of this. The narrow-sighted rush to a deal has put in jeopardy the great work done by parents and teachers and school boards across this province, and they've tried to find a balance of delivery between quality education in a fiscally challenging environment. Unlike this government, they know there's a finite source of funding. This bundled agreement, if ratified, will require a complete revamp of the funding framework. To the Premier, will you stop the madness, send your Education Minister back to do the job properly, and find an agreement that's actually good for Alberta kids?
Oh, good.
Honourable Premier.
Well, once again, Madam Speaker, I'm very pleased that teachers in Alberta have understood that the province of Alberta is under fiscal restraints and so have accepted a deal with 0% increases, and I think that sets a very good example. On the flip side, I'm very proud that our government is putting more money into our classrooms, Madam Speaker, because in fact we do have kids in our classrooms, special needs kids, ESL kids, or English language learning children that need extra supports. And we've heard from rural school boards and urban school boards that they need more support to be able to deal with those kids and give them the education they deserve. And I'm proud our government is delivering that.